All right. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to actually do some meal prep for the week. Like I said, this is day 4 of 30 days in prepping for a Spartan Ultra Beast. Now, I'm relatively new at the distance. I've only done one Ultra Beast in my life, but the fact that I've done one gives me some type of credit, right? So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get prepped. I've got actually some lean pork. Imagine that, a julienne pork. How does that even work? What? And the reason why we're eating pork this week is because in the past, you know, I've eaten chicken, turkey, beef, chicken, turkey, beef, chicken, turkey, beef. So what we're doing right now is we're switching in something new. I don't want to get GI upset because I keep eating the same foods. I was actually told to do this from a registered dietitian. So here we go. Right now, just getting the meal prepped. Usually what I like to do is I like to wash the meat. Just because I don't know who's been touching it. So that's what I'm going to do first. More of a precaution. The beautiful thing about meal prep is that you can control what you eat throughout the week. Unless if you don't, I mean, if you choose not to meal prep, you're going to be stressed out about what to eat all week long. And I don't know why people like to torture themselves by doing that. I'm not one of those people that really enjoys, you know, flying from the seat of their pants with this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into the next part. But first, I got to wash my hands. Very important. Working in healthcare, usually I wash my hands for about 30 seconds. They have all kinds of different ways of doing that. Count, 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 count. Like I'm not doing that. Anyway, the soap is off my hands. Okay. We're going to use some extra virgin olive oil. There we are. Look at that fine stuff. The olive leaves and all. So what's so great about extra virgin? Well, processed differently. It's healthier. That's all I know. So, I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. And beautiful thing about not having the answer to everything is that you get yourself in less trouble. Okay. Got broccoli and cauliflower. This is something I like to mix in about 2 times a month. Broccoli, cauliflower. A lot of times I'll mix in other vegetables or healthy fat, such as like a sweet potato. Or sorry, that's not healthy fat. That's more like a non-starchy carbohydrate. That's what I was thinking of. It took me a while. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and take these, wash them off. I usually like to do a nice quick rinse off. I don't need organic necessarily. I buy from places like Meijer. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. It's not Whole Foods. It's not Kroger organic. Sorry. So there we go. So what do I use? Well, it's a pretty sharp knife. And what I like to do is I mainly like to eat the trees. So voila. And it's not perfect, prep. If it was, man, this ain't Emerald Live, I'll tell you that. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to cut this up into strips, and then I'll turn it, and I'll chop it into little blocks. So now I like to kind of cut that down a little bit every now and then. Especially if I have some huge chunks. Not a bad idea. So I've got a certain amount of time where I am able to do this. And then I've got to take off. I got to rip and run. I got to pick up Juna. We got to go to gymnastics. I'm so stressed. Ah! Yeah. So Juna is by far my favorite person. She is doing a great job in gymnastics. Imagine that. Her daddy's a personal trainer. But you know what? Need other coaches. They can't just listen to one person. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get a walk. So what is a walk? These things are great, especially for cooking large amounts of vegetables. I usually like to cook for about 3 days at a time, 3 to 4 days. I don't cook the whole week because it keeps me on my toes. I like a thriller. And we're going to add some olive oil on this assortment. I'm getting vegetables everywhere, but anyway, that's part of the journey. Wow, I added a lot of olive oil. But anyway, I got the pork cooking. I haven't put anything on the pork yet. I have a little bit of a grace period here. All right. Remember, guys, I am no vice. But I'm trying to show you, hey, if I can do it, you can too. Used to have a wife that would prep for me, but guess what? Life. Okay. Add broccoli. And we're gonna get after it. So what I usually like to do is I like to add a base of salt and pepper. It's very mild. I do not overdo it on the salt and pepper. I'm actually really good about flavoring. And yes, I do add salt. It's an electrolyte for me. I'm actually hyponatremic many times because of the amount of water that I drink and the amount of caffeine that I drink and the amount of depletion that takes place. Maybe that was a lot. And then got pepper. Oh, what the? So with the pork, I'm gonna throw some Cajun seasoning, pepper. Chili pepper, cayenne, curcumin, turmeric. We're gonna add some of that stuff in there. So, turmeric. Usually pretty generous with that. Chili pepper. I don't know what I'm showing you. But anyway. I'm treating pork like I would treat chicken right now. Because I don't eat it often. Hopefully it's good. It might be bad. Who knows? At least I'm trying. Okay. The next thing we've got is the cayenne. And one last one, we got some paprika. Woo! All right, I'm gonna stir this up a little bit. So I have clean hands, right? I can touch this. Okay. Usually with meal prep, because I like to mix up this with the protein, usually the spice will kind of carry over to the vegetables. So I don't have to overdo things here. All right. A lot of times you can use the stalk of the broccoli and the cauliflower. I just don't like to for time purposes. But we do make sure that it goes out in the garden and it gives the garden some nutrition there. Paprika. All right. There. Let's do this. I've never been so excited in my life. All right. So the pork is probably just getting demolished over here. So I'm going to go ahead and flip that. I do like to prep vegetables as a snack, along with mixed nuts, a bar, yogurt, and granola for the morning, with 2 to 3 servings of vegetables, and then 1 fruit for the mid-afternoon. It works. It works every time. But I don't have those things. You probably don't want to talk to me. All right. What do I have for nuts? Well, I'm not going to lie. I have quite a bit of the same kind of nut that I had last week. So usually I don't do this. But I got a pretty big bag here, so I might as well utilize my resources. It's got a nice little Tupperware here. And I usually give myself about that much. You don't want to give yourself a lot. This will carry over though, and especially between breakfast and lunch. For me, that's what I do anyway. Pretty consistently. I do like to fast about once a week. So that changes things, but yeah. All right. Next. Make sure you have some bags. And got some sweet peppers here. Usually I like to have about 3 different kinds of vegetables. Right now I have peppers, cucumbers, and I believe I have radishes. So look at me, look at me. Okay. So, still got my knife left over. Not gonna forget about that because I am prepping for my snacking vegetables. Okay, so I usually give myself a couple inches of cucumber, and I will wash that off. I've already washed off my peppers. Bob would have a fit right now because he would tell me, "You're not cutting those right." He is a connoisseur of cutting vegetables, cutting foods a certain way. I just beat him in tennis, so I have some bragging rights. That's what's up, Bob. Bob's my stepdad. He's a real cool guy. Now, because of time, I'm not going to sit here and get nuanced, but I am going to, cut enough for 2 days. Because if I don't, chances are I'm going to be doing this late at night. That's my work schedule. So we got to work around this. Oh, just kidding. All right, so got enough peppers. Ooh, I usually use a stainless steel pan with my wok for the vegetables, and there's a lot of reasons for that. One, so I don't burn the food. And I like to have snacking vegetables also because I'm with Juna as a single parent right now. I have that stuff quick and ready to grab. It's already there. Another thing I also like to make sure I have is something like this for her, especially on a day like gymnastics. Quick and easy to grab. Now, I usually give her coconut water for electrolytes. I'm trying to be cynical here or anything. Okay. So I like to use stainless steel, and I'll put some water in there so that I don't get burnt food on the pan. If that makes sense. Right now, what I'm looking for is a specific thing, which will stir up the vegetables. It's time to stir. So as you can see here, got the food. Just like to rotate that around. And I do like to add water to this, or else I don't like my vegetables very hard as I saute them. Sauteing them is a great way to retain nutrients for the food. Pork is coming along here. All right. And we're rocking, Make sure I have these radishes here. Yeah. Never mind, it doesn't look like it. you imagine that? Right now, I usually have like a higher glycemic index fruit for my afternoon. So I'm gonna have some blueberries because they're on hand right now. I'm gonna do 3 to 4 servings because I had about 2 servings of fruit this morning. So I can get away with a little more. I want to use all the blueberries. Usually, they only give you like a pint, and it's not really, to me, it's enough to get you through the week for like a morning snack mixed in with a protein. So I've got bananas, and bananas are good for electrolytes. And based on the amount I'm working out, at least I have something. And I still have my knife. Same knife. Call it gross. I don't care. This will also be good for Juna. So voila. And I'm gonna go ahead and just stick with the day for now because I gotta get ready and get my daughter's coconut water together. Make sure this food doesn't get bad here. So, all right, we're all set. And that's just kind of a snapshot at meal prep in about 15 minutes.